Judi Kulus, who is Vice President of Curriculum Development at the American Association of Nurse Assessment Coordination. Judi, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Could you share with us the top 3 things that providers should keep in mind when they're implementing the MDS Section GG rules?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, Section GG came out recently, October 1, and it's been a challenge for providers to finish and code it. Now it's been a week or so now. And so I thought that I would think of the 3 things in an acronym of ACT or ACT. So the first one is A for accuracy, and then C for collaboration, and then T for timely. So when we think about A for accuracy, it is being completed with Section GG for the SNF QRP functional quality measure related to residents having a functional assessment completed when they begin and end their Medicare stay, as well as a care plan that addresses their function. So that's the purpose of it. And we want it to be accurate. Right now the QRP quality measure is what we call it's called a process measure, which means that CMS is just looking that the Section GG is complete and that the resident has at least one goal in either the self-care items or the mobility items. But I want to say that accuracy is important too, not just the process that we've completed the section, not just that we have at least one goal, but that we do it accurately, of course, because down the road, and it will be coming soon, those goals will be measured in terms of the resident having progress. And when we think about a goal for the resident in Section GG, the goal could be that the resident is going to stay the same, and that's a valid goal. It could be that the resident might decline, and that would be a valid goal. Or we could have set a goal that the resident would improve in function. And so we do want to make sure we set one goal. Now with accuracy, we don't want to set goals in all the Section GG items unless it's appropriate. We want at least one for the QRP, quality measure accuracy, but set other goals as appropriate in that section that meet the residents' needs.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
One of the things that we are getting a lot of calls on and people are really struggling with is the whole idea of dashes. So with accuracy, again, I just want to mention that we are wanting to complete the QRP quality measure items with that discharge assessment. But it is okay to dash or provide no information is another way to do it for the goal section. Now we don't want to have any dashes in the usual performance section for either on admission or on discharge, but you are allowed to dash the goal section, and I think that's confusing for people. Related to usual performance with accuracy, we are assessing the resident the first 3 days of their Medicare stay. We're assessing them in the last 3 days of their Medicare stay. And we're looking at what their usual performance is for those self-care and mobility items. Now CMS has made it clear that we are going to assess them using to determine what their baseline assessment is during that first 3 days. And we're supposed to do this before therapeutic interventions are applied. And so when you think about it, residents will come in potentially on PT or OT or both, or PT, OT, and speech-language pathology, right? They might not be on any of that. They might come in as a Medicare resident that's not just for nursing. So we want to do whatever's accurate based on what the treatment reason is that they're in the building. So this usual performance before we do the therapeutic intervention should be assessed. And therapeutic interventions might start on day 1 of the stay. That's okay. We never want to hold treatment for the 3 days and then start therapy. We want to get therapy started right away. So do this accurate assessment as soon as you possibly can. And if there's any fluctuation in their self-care performance or the mobility performance, we're going to want to select what is most usual of that performance, not what they are at their best or their worst before therapeutic interventions, but to get that clear picture of them as soon as we can on admission, or continue to observe them until interventions begin.
Great. Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Yeah, so the C is for collaboration. And there's been a lot of challenges about who should complete the Section GG. And I know that sometimes people are thinking that maybe therapy should do it, or maybe somebody in the nursing department should do it. Well, I was going to say C for collaboration because it really should be a collaborative effort. And the RAI User's Manual indicates that the facilities have the flexibility to select who would complete Section GG and for that matter, any section of the MDS, based on who they determine is the best clinician to do that. And so whether it's the resident nurse assessment coordinator, the MDS nurse, maybe it's a nurse manager, maybe it's a therapist, whoever is going to complete that section, they're attesting to the accuracy of that section and signing off, attesting to that accuracy in ZO 400. Well, we want to do it in a collaborative manner, meaning get input from nursing, from therapy, and determine then what is going to go on that MDS assessment. And then that collaboration will help you help you meet the accuracy standard for that section.
How about the T?
So T is for timely. And one of the things that we want to remember about completing Section GG is that we do have the assessment windows to assess the usual performance and set the goals in the first 3 days of the resident's Medicare stay. And of course, we have a 3-day window at the end of their Medicare stay where we're going to assess their discharge status, their usual performance for the items on Section GG at the end of their stay. But once you set your ARD for whichever assessment you're completing that will require the Section GG items, you have, just like with any other assessment, you have 14 days to complete the assessment, signing it off as complete, that's called encoding it, and you have 14 more days to transmit it to the federal government. So even though we want to assess the resident and document that assessment in the first 3 days and the last 3 days, you have time after the assessment reference period to complete the assessment and ensure accuracy, ensure your collaboration for the items that you're going to select for coding, and then to get that completed and send it timely to the federal government. So I think if we remember ACT, accuracy, collaboration, and timely when we complete Section GG, we're going to be okay as clinicians with the MDS assessment items.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Judi. It's a pleasure having you.